at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm here today, Bill Gross. I'm a broker here in Los Angeles, along with my friend. Oops, that way.
Gustavo Segura. How you guys doing? How you
And
doing?
we're not here with Patricia Castillo because she's a very successful real estate listing agent, and she's off meeting with clients today. So instead, it takes two of us to make up for her. So here we are, Gustavo.
Yep, that's
So how
right.
about the market today? What do you see going on? What's your uptake?
Yeah, it was really good. We had a good, it was kind of a positive announcement to the Fed's raising the Fed fund rate 25 basis points. So I think that was kind of probably confuses people. Where they're like, wait, the Fed fund rate just went up by 25 basis points, but mortgage rates came down. But it was a really good market. The 10-year Treasury, it's I think closer to 340 now. So rates really took a nice dip today, which is great because it's the lowest that it's been here in a couple of weeks. We've been going up in the wrong direction.
Yeah, and so you can see overall, but still overall since January, it's been between 6 and 7 consistently. Now we're
Yeah.
just below halfway, 6.49%. So we're in that same range we've been in all year long. So any way you slice it, it's a consistent all January, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like depending on what week, like on your chart there, we could be on the downward or on the upward trend there. And that's the tough part when we have inconsistencies like this, where we have a lot of data coming in from the market, inflation, job reports, bond market, international markets, in the UK, what are they doing? What's happening abroad? So all those things affecting the world economy is definitely playing out for us here as well.
I definitely feel like we're all like gripping on like a roller coaster ride, expecting that drop, and it hasn't happened, or the rise. It has kind of like if you're in the dark at a roller coaster, you're waiting for something crazy, and it's just not been. It's been in that bandwidth, and there's a lot of tension,
Yeah.
yet not a lot of real change in the numbers.
Right, right. And I think from what I am looking at as far as data wise and people in the industry, from here on out, we're hoping that we can get some of these inflation reports to come down. They have continued to come down slowly, but inflation in the shelter side of the business, we need that to come down. Inflation is coming down on the energy side, on the food side, but we need that to also happen on the shelter side of the industry. So the May 10th is coming up report, and as we get a little bit more and more data, hopefully that just continues a nice downward trend here into the summer.
I know that in my business, I had an interesting experience. I had a listing that I knew was overpriced at 500,000. We left it overpriced because we were working on a legal problem. We solved the legal problem, and I said to the seller, how soon do you want to sell it? She said right away. I said, well, if we drop it to 399, it'll create like an auction. It's been the market for 3 months at 500,000. We were in escrow just below the list price, and we had a bunch of offers. They just kept bidding each other up, bidding each other
Yeah.
up. And so I think that there's buyers who want to buy. They're just concerned about the rates or concerned about the prices. But at the end of the day, they got to buy something. And if that's the only property to buy, somebody's going to pay the price to buy the property. At least that's here in Los Angeles. I don't know if it's true all over the country, but in LA, the market's still relatively healthy here in April 2023 or May 2023.
Yeah, no, that's true. It is still very healthy. There's still, all you need is one offer, right? But there's three, four, five. It's not 20 or 30. Some properties, yes, you do get that. But there is still, that multi-bid happening. I have clients that are not getting the property and they're going $30,000 over asking price. So it's a good opportunity, but we still do have that shortage of inventory is definitely creating a little bit of a chaos for buyers.
It's fascinating. On another listing I have, we just dropped it. I looked at all the properties within a mile, and there's one a little lower than us. There's 20% smaller, so it's a condo. There's one property at 1,000 square foot at 462. We're at 1,200 square feet at 479. There's nothing else even listed. There's two in pending in the 475 range. So I thought, well, we're about in the range of those that are pending. We're a little bigger. My seller is anxious to sell. And I had an agent call me and say, hey, I think your price is too high. I said, well, what do you mean by that? Well, I ran it by a couple of investors and they think it's too high. And I said, it's literally one of two active listings. It's per square foot smaller than the other, lower than the other one. But what do you compare it to? And I think sometimes, investors are just so used to buying things that are obviously such easy deals to evaluate that there may be
Yeah.
there's some competition and they have to, but there's only so many properties to buy, and so somebody's gonna buy. I got a phone call right now saying they're gonna wrap an offer on it. So crazy market.
Yeah.
So I think it's a time to look
Yeah.
at fundamentals and make sure you get good value and that you protect yourself by buying within what you can afford.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? So we have certain reports that I can do for home buyers. So for example, we'll take a look at a area, a zip code, or where they're looking to buy, and I'll do a little quick analysis for them where we can take a look at, okay, yes, this is the price right now. What does that look like in the next 3, 4, 5 years, right? As far as appreciation, normal appreciation, what does that mean? You're going to be probably able to refinance within a year. So it's kind of like a cost of waiting analysis. So you can either go in now, or what if you do wait a year or two, later on? What does that mean? Well, that property is going to be 10%, 20% higher because you waited 2 years.
Right.
What is that going to look like? So for people that are starting out and are wondering about that, that's a great tool that I can share with them in order to see what that opportunity cost could be if they just wanted to wait. So going back to the basics, like you said, knowing how much they can buy, and then also, what does it mean like if they wait or not wait?
So here we are. We do this every Wednesday at 5 p.m. And the idea is to answer questions. We live stream this on Facebook, YouTube. If you have questions, feel free to jump in and put them in the chat box. We'll either respond to them live or afterwards we get to them, we'll get back to you. And invite your friends. We'll love to talk to you about helping you buy your first home or buying a trade-up home if that's what your plan is. So I think with Patricia gone today, it's not quite as fun, Gustavo, is it? It's always fun to make fun of her a little bit or tease her a little bit. So what final words of wisdom you give people this week? I'm thinking rates are down a bit, inventory is still tight.
Yeah.
If you're looking to buy a house, let's sharpen our pencils and let's get to work. What do you say?
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like those public service announcements, right? The more you know. So being able to understand your situation. Is it just you and a family member? Do you need a co-borrower? What does that look like for you? I Understanding their credit report. There may be lates that didn't even know that it was on the credit report and it's hurting them. Also, when I take a look at their credit, I can see, what, we can bump up by 40 points if we do the following. So there's very good evaluators of, hey, pay down this credit card by $700 or $1,500, and that's going to give them a nice jump. And when that translates into is a better rate. Better rate means a lower payment, more savings. So ultimately, it's about just making sure you start that discussion, being able to talk to someone. And maybe it's not right now, but in 3 months, 6 months, it goes by pretty quick.
Well, I think we'll wrap up for this week, but if you're watching this on replay, feel free to put any questions in the chat box. I'll get back to you, or Gustavo will. We do this every Wednesday at 5 p.m. I'm Bill Gross. You can see me at Bill Gross EXP. Gustavo, someone get in touch with you, talk about home loans, qualifying, saving money. What's the best way to get in touch with you? Even though it's on the bottom of the
Yeah,
stream.
give me a call or a text at 714-334-4563. And as you can see there on the streamer as well, my email, definitely reach out. Love to be able to talk to someone. I'm also available on the weekends. So, please, by all means, go ahead and reach out.
Fantastic. Gustavo, thank you. For the rest of you watching today, thank you for joining us today. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks so much.